everyone and welcome to another vlog. My name is Mayanthi. I'm a qualified counsellor and I make videos on how I became a counsellor, what you might want to know if you're looking to become a counsellor as well, and just sharing bits and pieces of my life. So I hope you enjoy this video. I thought I'd answer a few questions that I've had on other videos about the counselling career in general. So I'm just gonna get them up now. So one of the questions I've had is, do you need to have a degree in psychology? Can you become a counsellor in Australia without a related degree? And what is the pathway? So in Australia, there are a few different pathways to becoming a counsellor. The first thing to note is you don't necessarily have to have a specific type of degree to call yourself a counsellor here in Australia. So in saying that, it's obviously recommended that you have some study behind you in a relevant area, but counselling is different to psychology. Psychology is really well regulated and you have to be a registered psychologist to be able to practice as a clinical psychologist. But with counselling, there are lots of different areas you can get into. If you do want to be a registered counsellor, then you do have to do a course that provides you with that end goal. So for example, I did a master's in counselling and psychotherapy, which meant at the end of that I could register as a counsellor. But there are a lot of jobs out there where you don't actually have to be a registered counsellor to work in a counselling related field. So there's lots of social work jobs like case management, working with kids in schools or working in hospitals, and different community organisations like homelessness or domestic violence, and even youth work. So if you're interested in the counselling field but you haven't got a degree yet, I would recommend maybe starting with either a Bachelor of Psychology or a Bachelor of Social Work, or looking at smaller certificates or diplomas out there that you can start without any prior study. Because what you want is that study background and some idea on different kind of therapeutic techniques and how to work with people, because that's what will kind of get your foot in the door. And then you can work with experience, or you can kind of work in the field and see what area you enjoy or that you'd like to kind of stay in. So just as an add-on to that, in terms of registering as a counsellor, there are two organisations which I've made another video on. So there's the Australian Counselling Association and there's the Psychotherapy and Counselling Federation of Australia. Go check out my other video if you want to know more about each of those and which one might be better to register with. But again, if you're starting out, just first have a look at the different courses available to you and think about what you want to do and what pathway you want to take. And yeah, let me know if you have any specific questions about what you're thinking of doing, and then again I can answer those questions for you in later videos. So I've just sat down to paint my nails now. I'm thinking of painting them this blue color, not sure if that's, and then adding this one on top, which is like a holographic nail polish. So I'm hoping it gives a bit of like a glazed blue look. I haven't tried that before, so we'll see how it goes. But I thought while I'm painting my nails, I would talk about kind of people who are hoping to become a school counsellor or who are interested in becoming a school counsellor. So that was something that I was wanting to do as well at one point in my career. I actually even went to a couple of schools and asked them if they had jobs available, and that was while I was still studying. But what I found is in Australia, to be a school counsellor, you actually have to have education background. So you have to have studied like a Bachelor or Master of Teaching, and then be like a registered teacher, and then do some study in counselling to be able to then be the school counsellor. So that's the process for public schools. Private schools are a little bit different. They can hire, I guess, anyone they want to, but a lot of private schools do mainly hire psychologists as their school counsellors. And they also get in, I think, external people to run sessions and workshops with their students. So, and like, I guess if it's a Catholic school, then they would have like chaplains and religious kind of counsellors. So it may depend on what the school kind of is teaching and wants to offer their students. But if you're looking to get into a private school, I definitely recommend just going and speaking to them and sharing a bit about yourself and what you do, and seeing if they have any kind of roles or options for you. I actually worked for an organisation where I was working in a team that worked with kids and families who were going through domestic violence or homelessness. So part of that role actually included going into schools and working one-on-one with those kids, but also running groups, whether it was during school or like school holiday programs. So that's another way, if you're not able to get into working as a school counsellor straight away, it is another way to still do that type of work, but not be called necessarily a school counsellor. But, if you're passionate about going into schools and working with kids and doing similar work to what a school counsellor may do, just not the day-to-day kind of counselling sessions, then I would really recommend that. And again, so I worked for Relationships Australia, and that was the organisation that ran these groups at that time. So yeah, I would recommend looking around, emailing people, maybe contacts on LinkedIn if you find any organisations that may do that work. Also, now with the NDIS, so the National Disability Insurance Scheme, there are a lot of organisations who have allied health professionals, including counsellors, who offer that type of work as well. So the scope is definitely there. You just need to kind of know where you're looking. So these are my nails all done. As you can see, it's a bit more of a blue silver shimmer rather than glazed blue nails, but I think they turned out all right still. So I just went to the shops and I got a little treat for myself, an acai bowl, and it has Biscoff sauce on it. I did get this another time and they put so much Biscoff on it, so I was like, can you please put less this time, which it looks like they have. And then it has strawberries and banana and some granola in there, and it was really good. So I'm gonna enjoy it now. Let's try. So I think I'm gonna end the vlog here. Thank you for watching, and make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.